All right. Hello, hello. How's everybody doing today? Let's see. Are we live? All right. Hey guys, welcome to Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton. I am Will Melton, and this is a Channel RVA. I do this session every Monday at let's see, 5:30, and it's a showcase session. So I'm going to show you something that I've been working on that hasn't been shown off. And we might do a little bit of coding today, but for the most part, we're going to really focus on showing you guys something that I have been building and making free to the public for quite some time. So I'm super excited about that, and it's called Liberating Facilitator. So you might have seen me post about this online a little bit, this free meeting facilitation software. But before I get into today's session, just going to invite you to visit studio.willmelton.com. There's a couple of websites that I'm going to ask you to visit. So, studio.willmelton.com, that's where you can follow my journey to build 52 apps in 2026. I'm going to be building an app every week. I'm going to get through 52 apps probably by the middle of the year because I'm ahead of schedule. But in any event, that's just so you know what's going on over there. The other thing that you can check out is channelrva.com. This is the hub for a lot of the media that I've been creating, both what you see me create here on Live Vibe Coding, but also the agency, which has a new episode coming out, America's Healthiest City, which has new episodes coming out, and lots more that you can find here on our channel. We are working to bring Richmond closer to Richmond. We want to show you what's happening. We want to give you the news, the weather, your horoscope. We want to give you art. I've added some new art to the gallery, and I will show you that over here. I've got a million tabs open, but you can see the art gallery, which you can play on your TV and listen to music in the background. That's what we're doing here. But today we are going to dive right in to facilitator.exponent21.com. And I'm going to talk for a little bit about the business case here because it's not just about the software that I'm building, it's about why I'm building the software and what I believe as I invest my time, energy, resources into this. So, first and foremost, I'll tell you why I built this in the first place and what happened as I started thinking about it. One of the things that I find that often happens is that I think a lot about what I want based on a single problem that I'm facing. And then I build something that solves that problem. And then I start thinking about the commercial utility of that beyond the initial case. And so in this particular scenario, I was building an application that was designed especially for Exponent 21. And its job was to ingest facilitated meeting information and to essentially, sorry, I want to change my volume over here because it's a little bit distracting to me. But essentially, I want to take meeting data, artifacts from meetings, and put that into an application that is designed to produce some important documents, a proposal, a business plan, and a work plan that we can leverage to be able to build the software that we're selling. The business plan builds confidence. The proposal does what it's supposed to do in setting the price. And I really wanted to build this really great system that had all these features and allowed me to go from A to Z with little friction. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I am using technology. I'm using functions, which are rules that are coded and just use simple compute. And then there's AI, and we use some AI to do analysis and to move things around. There's a lot of different uses for AI, and I can talk more specifically about that as we get into the demo here today. But really, what I want to talk about is again the business case. And so I believe in the future that we are going to be spending more time on creativity and human interaction. I believe we're going to be spending time helping people achieve things and understand things. And I think we're going to be in community more often than we are in front of our computers because the computers are doing more of the things. I found myself walking and getting a lot of work done because I'm able to leverage AI and ask Claude to go check my email and check my task list and talk to my teammates in Slack. And so I'm able to get more done and be out in the world and physically be moving around and getting sunshine and all of that. And I think that we need to be building for this. And so what I think about here is, again, removing the friction so that I can spend more time with my customers, my clients, and understand what their problems are and bring them solutions. Spend more time solving, less time building, spend less time actually in this space of looking at a computer. And as I think about this, and if you think about it, you probably know what this is like. If you're a consultant or you work with clients, you go in, you have a meeting, and you come away, and you spend hours and hours and hours in front of a computer, and maybe meeting with internal teams. But there's so much production that goes into assembling the outputs that we need to share with the client, and that is a huge drag on time. And so I believe we need to flip that on its head, spend more time with customers, and let the computers, following the rules that we've set based on our expertise in our industry, um, do the lifting that we know it can. And so that was the initial idea, to go from A to Z to be able to get to the place of starting to build something after having contracted work with a client. And I don't know what happened. I wish I could remember exactly what it was that triggered in my mind, but I thought to myself, wouldn't it be cool if I could just give software away for free to people and allow that to be a generation of leads for myself, for my business? And I thought a little bit about it, and I thought, well, this Liberating Facilitator tool that I originally built as a GPT, that I started to incorporate into this new application for Exponent 21, is perfect to be rebuilt as a simple application. And I say simple, I never do anything very simply, so this one's a little bit more advanced. But essentially, what I decided to do is to take the GPT that I built 2 years ago after I completed my facilitation certification, and turn it into an application that anybody can use who has facilitation training and really understands what these concepts are, and have great meetings. And so that's what we did. We've made it completely free for anybody who wants to get this, use it, play with it. You can use it for your internal teams if you're not a facilitator and you want to just have better meetings. This will help you do that. And I'll talk to you a little bit about how that happens in a little bit. But if you are joining me for the very first time, please feel free to join me in the chat. Share your ideas, share your comments, share your questions. And I might peel away and build something new today as we're talking through all this. And so if you have any thoughts on other things that you've seen me work on, give me a shout, and I might pop over there. I'm working on a lot right now. I wish I could tell you about all of it, but some of it needs to be under wraps because it is the future of my company. It is going to be the thing that sets us apart, and I just cannot give it away. So we're holding some things back, but we've got some cool things cooking. I have a lot to share about the agency side of things and where I've been spending a little bit more of my time as we get into the coming weeks. But we built this because we recognize that meeting facilitators are not necessarily builders themselves. They're working with teams to get clarity on their problems and potential solutions paths forward. But they are still likely to need someone to come and bring the solutions that are actually going to get them to where they need to go. So we provide the building aspect of it. If a facilitator can get clarity with a team and they can identify a solution that we can help them build, that's what we aim to do, whether that's building an app or building a website or building some kind of AI tool, or being able to help them achieve more brand visibility in large language models for the things that matter to them. So there's a lot of stuff in here. You can go and scan around my marketing pages for this free tool. Everybody wonders what the catch is, and quite literally the catch is we want you to know a little bit more about who we are. And so that option is in here. You can see that Exponent 21 is many things, but we are, let me see if I can't find the about page that's in here. It's kind of buried. I should probably work to bring it to the surface because this is pretty cool. Maybe that's an improvement that we can make today, because the menu has really gotten out of hand as I'm logged in and all that marketing content gets pushed down to the bottom. If I look now, I guess it's not so bad. It's just when I get logged in that it becomes an issue. So we talk a little bit about here about the things that we've built. You know what I've built. You can see all that in my portfolio. We've got some stuff in here that we will reveal more soon. But in any event, you can see facilitators from around the Richmond region. You can see locations. These are areas where you have to be logged in to get to those things. But in any event, it's free to create an account over here, so there's no reason not to sign up if you're looking for that information. I might think about making that available beyond the paywall, but let me just show you a little bit around about how this works. So first and foremost, if you're new to the platform, you do have a virtual tour, and I'm going to walk through that tour now so that you can see this feature, because this is something that we were able to build in relatively easily as a part of the build, and something that I highly recommend if you're building something that's complicated, has a lot of features. Definitely be thinking about how you help your user navigate the application. Definitely be removing the steps in the application that are not necessary for them to succeed at doing the thing. Remove those friction points where you can, but tell them what they can do, because they don't know. They may not click around. And so this, I'll just click through here to show you. We have structures, we have sessions, which are what they sound like, a single day, single meeting session. We have live activities that are part of the structures that we run. We have projects, which can help you organize your sessions around different groups or clients if you're a meeting facilitator and you want to use this for lots of different people. And then you can see our facilitators and the locations that we are going to start populating in here. I do not have a lot here now, but I will tell you that if you are a facilitator, you will have the opportunity to add your name to the directory. It's approval process there just to verify that it's this work you actually do, but some opportunities for facilitators to get exposure through this platform, as there are, in my experience, facilitators often need co-facilitators, and there's lots of opportunities for a referral in this industry based on schedules being tight. So you can see what we have in here. You can certainly add your name to the mix. And we'll grow this over time. It's not been the biggest priority of mine. I want to know that you guys are in here and using this before I get too crazy with it. But I want to talk a little bit about some of the features in here. And I think one of the best ways to do that is to show you one of the features that I built into some of my apps. And that is a social card generator. And this is, I generate these cards through the large language model, through the Lovable interface, but it does populate them in here so that I can easily download them. But essentially, this is probably not so much of a good way to show what the features are in this, but let me go to the dashboard, because that's a place where I can show you what the actual features are, or we can maybe click into, what do we see here? The website side of things and see if we have a list of features. We do. I want to show you this before I click around, just to give you a quick representation of what you're going to find. So there are 33 liberating structures. If you're not familiar with what those are, highly recommend attending the Virginia Center for Inclusive Communities and Leadership Metro Richmond's semi-annual facilitation workshop. It's called the Best Practices in Facilitation. I'll pull that up right now. So this is, it's closed now. They're going to do another session in the fall. I'm going to work to get them to do some more sessions, because I think that this is some of the best training that anybody can do. I think more people need to be trained in how to facilitate meetings so that people can have better communication and you can have better outcomes on the other side. This is so inexpensive at $325 per participant. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes up for the next session, because we do know that costs are going up right now, and that is a ridiculously low price. But in any event, keep an eye on this. We'll talk more about it as time goes on. Follow us on exponent21.com and follow me everywhere else. But what I want to do is keep going here and just these 33 structures are open source. They are things that you can find on the web. They are um, uh, built over many years and with different participants. You can plan your sessions so that you can have the most control over how your meetings go. You can get smart recommendations from AI for your structures based on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. You can invite co-facilitators, you can export, you can create templates. There's so much that you can do. So we have all these tools in here to be able to engage participants with their devices in a live setting. That's both hybrid and in-person remote. However you want to conduct your meetings, we have that. If you use interactive displays in your meetings, if you have meeting facilities that have those smart boards, we are tied in with those. We have our directories, which I've started to show you a little bit about, and everything's about speeding things up. So being able to get to a happy place with your facilitation sessions. And I want to just take a look at something here because I want to say somebody had given me an idea. You can copy sessions, but creating templates is maybe something new that we want to think about. I want to go take a look at my text messages and see if I can't figure out I can't remember what it was, but I'll oh, there it is. It's templates. I'm gonna actually pop into Lovable really quickly and see if we can't prompt that because I really do want to make sure that this is as easy to use as possible. So we have a templates function, but it does not appear that I have the ability to save a session to a template. And I feel like that would be a particularly robust thing to do. And on that note, it could be a good way for facilitators to contribute to the session templates. They can choose whether or not they want that template to be theirs alone or if they want to share it publicly as part of the community. It never hurts to get a little bit of user-generated content in the mix. So I've been talking to a few folks recently that have said that they've been following along on my live vibe coding sessions. They just don't leave any comments in the comment box. And if that's you, if you're watching right now and you aren't leaving comments, just tell me somewhere, send me a message, let me know that you're listening, that you're watching. It helps me to know that I should keep doing this. I had a really lively conversation over the weekend. I was able to talk to a few people, answer a lot of questions. I think folks that don't even know who I am, people aren't here in Richmond, some people on Twitch. And I really enjoy that, so it's a lot of fun for me, and I encourage that kind of engagement. But if you are just a lurker, as you call yourselves, as some of you called yourself, it's all good. I do appreciate your following along. If you're tuning in for the first time, this is Live Vibe Coding with Will Melton, and this is a Channel RVA production. So we stream this program on Channel RVA. You can find out more about that program over here. We stream in a couple different places, but we have a little bit going on here, linking all of these platforms together to give people a unified experience to be able to create content, which I seem to be able to do without a lot of friction, and give it a home. And I've been having fun with this. I gotta say, you might have. Some days I don't have a lot of energy. Some days I don't really want to do it. But I have an idea just about every day, and you never know where a good idea is going to take you. So I tend to go down the path. Whenever I have a good idea, I want to see where I can go with it. I like to build these applications, and I've learned a lot about it in the process. I'm always learning new things. I'm bumping into a roadblock with another app right now, and I've got a couple of paths to solve it. Should be able to solve it tonight or tomorrow morning if I pull the trigger on one of those solutions. But in any event, uh, I feel like it's not until I start down the path of building one of these things that I'm like, oh, wait, I understand how I can take this to the next level, or how I can commercialize this and make it a thing that is valuable to my organization. Because everybody's wondering, why is Will vibe coding something new again when he hasn't even finished the other thing that he started? So that is an honest critique that my team has. Uh, but they also see that we're able to build things that other people can't, and we're able to solve problems that other people can't. And that's what keeps me going. It's what keeps me working on all this stuff. And so I'll demo a little bit more about this here in a minute, but I wanted to just show you the amount of time it takes to go from prompt to solution and how quickly we can have that implemented on the front end of the site. I'm going to be letting this run. It'll happen here in a few more seconds. We'll be done. I'll publish it. We'll go over to the front end and we'll see how easy it is to add one of the templates that we have to the, or one of the sessions that we have to the templates. All right. Oh. It's a bit of an energy slump time of the day for me. But at the same time, I like doing this. If you can learn something from me, it's a good thing. All right, so we're done over here. You guys probably saw that, how long I've been staring at my desk over here. All right, we've got this going. I'm going to pop in here just to sessions really quickly and see. Can I create a template? Okay, there it is. It's there. All right, so let me go back into. I'll publish this. I'm confident. We'll make sure that it works on the front end, but I'm confident that that's working. Um, what I'll do is just take you through projects here and show you how easy it is to get this set up. So, maybe you have a specific within your company's projects that you have to accomplish, or if you're a consultant and you have different clients, you could organize this in a lot of different ways. And once you have your project set up, you can do this in different ways. Somebody said to me the other day they set up a session and they were trying to figure out how to assign it to a project. They couldn't do it. Well, I didn't have the ability to assign a session to a project if you hadn't set up the project first and added the session to the project. So we fixed that problem. And that's why early testers are useful to me because this is free software. Nobody's paying for this. I'm building it with my time, money, energy, and so we want people to um, help out and get us to the finish line. So thank you to those who did share your feedback. It did allow that to improve the tool. So objectives and key results, if you're not familiar with OKRs, do a little bit of research on Claude and figure out what they are. It's important that you begin with an objective. What do we want to get done? We need to improve sales by 25% this year. I'm just going to leave that in there. This is a sales meeting. We'll call this client A. We'll say sales consulting. And we're going to create a new session. So we have an objective here. We can add multiple objectives if we want to, but we're just going to go ahead and create a new session. And we'll give this a date. We know when we're going to be delivering the session. We know what time it's going to be. We're going to be starting wee hours here. So we're going to go in at 8 o'clock in the morning. Click these buttons. That is not the best time selector in the world, but that's okay. We're going to talk about how long this is going to be, 3-hour meeting. And we can set the location. We'll say we'll be at Lost Office Collaborative. I'm the only facilitator for this, but we can set co-facilitators if we want to. I'm going to go ahead and save this. I'm going to give it a name first. This is going to be Kickoff session. And we can do a couple of different things now. We can add structures, which pull from those 33 liberating structures, which I'm not going to get into for this presentation because that's a lot, and you will figure it out. Either know, you don't know. You can certainly read all about them inside the application. But structures or activities, which are the interactive elements to that, or breaks. But what we can also do is get AI to suggest a structure for us. So we'll say help a sales team figure out how to lift sales by 25%. We'll say a sales and marketing team. We'll say that this is an in-person meeting, and I said it was 20 people, so we'll just keep it 20. Mostly familiar people, or we'll say work together regularly, but maybe a little bit disparate because they're marketing and sales. The meeting is supposed to be focused and productive. Like we do high energy meeting, I think. And based on the answers that I've given to the questions and what I've provided in the initial prompt, it's going to suggest a structure that's going to allow us to fit in the time frame that we've defined. So high energy networking clears the obstacles through the anti-problem lens with TRIZ, kind of outlines what the session is going to look like here. Now I need to adopt this, or I need to adopt individual parts to this. So I can either add these to my plan individually, or I can adopt the entire plan, or I can start over. I'm going to go ahead and adopt the entire plan for the sake of speed with this. And I'm going to go ahead and give this a quick save so that we can use this again if we want to. And what I can do is, before I really get too crazy with this, I'm probably not going to run the session twice exactly the same, but I could, if I wanted to, create this as a template. Why isn't it there? There it is. Okay. So save that as a template. We'll call this sales lift meeting. Marketing leaders. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Thanks for jumping on with me again. Good for a group of sales and marketing leaders who are familiar but don't always align. This is for high energy meetings where the goal. All right, so I'll make this a private template to me. Actually, why not make that public? Category workshop. Save that. And here's how it works. So basically, I've got a few different things that we're going to be working on here. Is one, with each session, I have the ability to take some notes as a facilitator. I can certainly share this screen, or I can have a second screen that we can share. But what's going to happen whenever I go to, I can share this link to, or get a collaborator in here to be able to run it from their screen. I can share a link and they can copy that and run it that way as well. There's a few different ways that we can get this out. But for the most part, what's going to happen is we're going to start the session, and it's going to ask me right now, first of all, what my first activity is impromptu networking. I can choose the random matcher, or I could do the network map. There are a couple of different activities that you can use there. My brain's not going to give me the good prompt for this right now, but we can just indicate how large the group is. We said that this is 20 people large. We'll give it the random matcher, just kind of matching people against each other, and hit next. And that has set the rules for the game. We could probably do a little bit to streamline that so it takes some of the information that was shared earlier in the meeting but I don't think it missed the mark. I think it just didn't get us there. So what would happen now is, if you're watching along, you can actually play with me right now if you want to. You can scan this QR code and become a participant in this impromptu networking game, and we can match with one another. I'll know, it should see the count increase here if you do this. I'm going to go ahead and do it on my phone so that I can actually demo this for you and you know what it looks like. But this is very similar to what you'd see in some other interactive applications where we are. There you go. There's me. You can see me down here below, so it knows that I'm a participant. It's waiting on my screen for the facilitator to start. I'm not going to get matched with anybody because I don't have any buddies out there in internet land who are joining today. But this actually, this makes me think about a fun activity that I can actually do with all of you and running some interesting sessions to be able to talk more about maybe building something collaboratively or whatever. But in any event, this would click start on this, and we'd shuffle and assign groups. And sadly, I'm all by myself in group one. But in any event, that's how it works. You'd get matched up with somebody else, and you would go and it says groups of 20. I didn't even configure it properly, but you'd go and meet your person, and then we could shuffle and assign groups again a second time. So there's that element there, and my phone would actually have on it who my match is, who my person is that I need to match with, and that's how that works. So if you've ever done any of these live activities, um, you've seen them. I need to end this, not just back out of it. But, there's a bunch of activities like this inside the app. I'll show you what some of them are. But as soon as I finish that, I'm going to go over to the next activity, and that should have taken me to the next step in my session. So let me just see. Yeah, I think I need to save. I'm having to save this with every step, and it's taking me back into the configure your network map to do network impromptu networking again instead of taking you to the next step of the session. So that is um, frustrating because I have worked on this before. So let me just give this a little bit of a prompt, and we'll make sure that we get this fixed up. Okay, so I am working on a session called the kickoff session, and that session belongs to a project called Client A Sales Consulting. The kickoff session was started and it began with the impromptu networking. We had a random matcher, and we started it. We began the activity. We ended the activity. And it does not appear that our system acknowledged the start or completion of the activity. Because when I click next activity, it just says what kind of activity instead of taking me to the next step of the session that I am actively in. Another thing that's important to note is that every time I open up the session, it says that it's unsaved even though I haven't changed anything. And that is confusing and inaccurate. Why are my activities and structures not completing when I end them and advancing me to the next step of the session? We need to ensure that when somebody has started a session, that it maintains their presence within that session until they've finished all the steps. They do need to be able to go back into their session planner to leave notes if they want to and restart from where they left off. We need it to be sequential every step of the way. All right, so we'll let that fix pop in here. If I were charging for the software, I'd have to do more testing. I just need more people to come and hang out with me and test these tools. All right, so I'm going to get into the activities and show you what we have. We'll hit new activity here just so you can see. But the activities, there's 9 different activities in here. Live poll. It gives you a little preview down here at the bottom of what that looks like. On a previous occasion, I asked for the preview of the activities to be above the selector so that they can be visible, because right now you have to scroll down to see the preview. I might not know that that preview is down there, and so it's a problem with the user interface. Make some little improvements here. But basically, simple things like timed rounds, if you need to have a timer running in the background so that people know and you get that alert whenever the timer is up. That's another thing that you can build into your sessions. If I wanted to have, for instance, the random matcher, but also a countdown timer, those are 2 separate activities. But the countdown timer probably needs to be incorporated into a lot of the other activities so that this can be as functional as possible. Let's think of a way to integrate those. The timer itself is fine as an activity, but it needs to have a more wider, broader utility. So, yes, I mean, there's all this can always be better, and I'm going to work to make it better. But as you guys use this and try to use it, try to make it work, like right now, I'm recognizing that I can't start Triz because impromptu networking hasn't been completed, so quote unquote. This is done. Yeah, I can't edit this. I can't add multiple activities to a. What is this? That's a facilitation guide. I just happened to look at the facilitation guide for a few of my structures, and I have been rather explicit about the need to ensure that we do not have stars where bold lines should be or backslashes where numbered lists should be. I have expressed a need to go through each of the guides to fix it, and you've been unwilling to actually do that work. You continue to try to apply global fixes to the structure by doing some kind of code changes, but it's simply not working. And what I actually need you to do is go through each of the structures and ensure that we do not have any special characters, any backslashes where numbers should be, any stars where bolds should be. We need to make sure that there's space between things. We need to make sure that where they're bulletless, they're actually bulletless and not hyphens. This is going to be a thorough job that you're going to conduct across all structures, activities, anything that has a guide. Those guides need to be cleaned. I do not like the fact that AI continuously injects formatting that needs to be manually cleaned by a human. It's not necessary that we would ever need to do that. I'm tired of asking for this sort of thing, and it is now time that it is fixed on this website once and for all. I do not want to ask again. I need a complete list of structures where you're going to do this work. I need you to show me your progress on the work as you complete it, and I need a report when it's done, indicating all of the pages that you touched and which ones had problems and which ones actually were already fixed. And I need you to tell me why you didn't do the work when I asked you the last several times. I need a report on what sort of thing I need to ask for going forward to make sure that you do what I actually want you to do. So, one of the things that I have noticed, and I tend to move quickly and I bounce back and forth between a lot of different projects. I don't always check to see if it did the last thing that it said it did. And sometimes what I find is that I'm not explicit enough in my instructions, and it goes and changes a V1 or a different area of the site that is a similar thing, but it's not what I'm looking for. And it thinks it did a good job, it's happy, and I'm clicking, I'm looking for buttons, I'm trying to figure out where things are, and it's just not there. And so I tend to be, I don't understand why that is a problem. I've noticed it across several applications. I'll give it a series of instructions, and I'll come back and find that one of the instructions that I gave several up is just not there. I don't have any good answers for that. I think the thing is again, there's this problem with AI that I'm coming to grapple with, which is there's the prompt that you give it, and then there's the shadow prompt, or the prompt that the expert on the other side, the supposed expert, how it would ask to have something completed. And so there's this sort of it's never answering the question you've provided it. It's constructing an answer using, what large language models are. It's building it based on the structural integrity of the information and the flow and the smoothness of the information. And so there's this kind of background work that's happening that is making some decisions for us that we necessarily uh, cleared. And in the sake of expediency, it's just going to do what it does. So I think that one piece of it is being more explicit about what we want with every prompt. And another one is not spending too much time expressing frustration about what the problems are, but spending more time expressing what it is that you want to have happen on the other side. Because if you tell it about the problems, it focuses on the problems. It does not focus on building great software, and I have to remind it sometimes that my goal is not to have you focus on the problem that I'm raising with you right now. I know that is your intention because that's the prompt. But your context needs to be larger. It needs to understand that we're building great software and we can only solve this problem in service to that. And so that's a helpful thing that you can do to be able to get to a happier place. Um, but this app is maybe not the most exciting one I've ever built. If you're not a meeting facilitator, you might be thinking, well, what am I spending an hour with you today on this for? But what I'd hope is that if you are someone who knows a meeting facilitator, or if you work in a company where you just want to have better meetings, this is a starting place. And there are definitely some information on the site that you can go and get a little bit more and read about some of the insights that we are sharing, some of what it means to be a great facilitator and why this matters, and how it helps us to be more human as we interact with other people. But I am getting close to a wrap point. I'm going to hang out with you guys as these audits come through. I'm gonna pop into my dashboard and just see what we've got going on over here when it comes to my sessions. I'm going to get into my kickoff session. I'm going to start this bad boy. I'm going to start it. I'm going to end in next. Or we could just next. I can do my countdown timer. Ooh, I like it. Is it going to have a bell? I feel like the timer noise is not nearly annoying enough. People are going to continue to talk after the timer's gone off, so we need it to persist a little bit longer. Um, Maybe we can do some Morse code for stop talking or something just for fun. I don't know. Make some weird stuff over here. So it's auditing the content guide. There's a lot of content in there. It's not going to take that long once it goes through and identifies what the problem is. But, you know, text is not small, in size. It's smaller than photos, what have you. But it's got to analyze that character by character, so that can be a weight on that. Something that you also want to think about as you do this work is making sure that you've indexed your database. I had a problem with an app that didn't do that, and I'm thinking I might just have to start over on it because I've got some data that's accumulated in there that is becoming difficult to eliminate, and I don't particularly like that. I'm spending time fighting a data problem and not a software problem, so I might have to replicate the app in order to eliminate the data and start over. Um, but I think that's the path I'm going to take. I just haven't done it yet because it's frustrating to me that I have to do that in the first place. But if I do that, I will index the database on that one before I import any new data, and that will help me overcome my problem there. Can't talk too much about what that app is because it's under wraps. As I've mentioned a couple of times, I'm building some applications that are going to shift the paradigm for my industry. I'm in the AI search engine optimization world. We help clients show up in large language models in addition to building interesting things like things you see me build. And I'm building some software that is going to completely upend my industry, I believe. So, more to come on that. Hopefully, I'll be able to do a show and tell with you guys on one or two of those tools in short order, but we're still in the build phase on those, and we've got, like I mentioned, data problem on one of them. So, working through those things, and we'll be back at you soon. This has taken quite a while, but I want to take a look at and see what it's doing over here. Um, says it's planning the updates now. So okay, I clicked into it. Now it's moving on to the next phase. That probably won't take too long. The actual cleaning probably won't take too long. 33 structure guides, 30 structures, 162 fields. Yes, it is stored in the content itself, not just the renderer. I knew that. Hmm. As I think about it, looking at my mug, AI Ready RVA. If you're in the Richmond region and you're not familiar with this organization, you want to learn more about AI, you want to learn more about how you can plug in and get aligned with your industry. We got some data on here, man. These guys are crazy. I'll tell you all about it. I do believe that it's worth it to be a part of what we're pulling off here, so you can learn more about our cohorts, our programming. These are interesting too. Let's see these. The brand evolves. All right, so check this out. Become a member. See about all of our events and community and what's going on. There's a bunch of stuff happening here. Also, there's a bit of a flicker going on here, so let's go figure out what's going on there. Don't like a flicker. Maybe it was temporary. All right. Let's see what my badge is. I'm an AI insider. I've attended 10 events. I probably should have attended more than that. Doesn't know. Doesn't know. All right. What are we cooking on over here? So I told you guys about Channel RVA. Go subscribe to my newsletter. I haven't gotten any subscribes since I started this live stream. So if you're new to Channel RVA, go put your email address on there. I do think that you'll enjoy it if you're here in the Richmond region. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, and we actually have dedicated AI coverage. So you'll see that in here. We're going to do a big thing there. I got some new research coming out soon that you're going to like, and a lot on the AI space. That's changing a lot, as you know. You would be here with me if you weren't in the know on that. And let's see, are we getting close here? We're still working on cleaning the records. It wants to take its time today. It doesn't want me to use my credits. But in any event, yeah, so we can change the time that we've got. It knows what our duration is. It's got our break built in there. If we increase the time for these things, it is going to cascade on down the line and show us that we're going to be 5 minutes late. And so that's one of the biggest things the facilitator has to do is they've got to be able to align the time. So if you've got to take some time away from a future session, some of these sessions you can't take time away from. The structure demands it. And so there is some dynamism to it, and that's what this is designed to help you accomplish. I thought I had set this to Lost Office Collaborative. Maybe I didn't save it when I did that. Okay. Yeah, this might take a little while, so I'm not going to bore you guys with it. As a matter of concept today, this was a live vibe coding showcase, so I didn't intend to do a lot of building with you guys today. I just wanted to show off one of the more robust builds that I've done. And this is free, so you can pop in and use this now. If you're a facilitator, we'd love you to give us some feedback on the app and tell us how we can make it better for you, how we can make it more productive of a utility. And so there's a lot of stuff that we're working on here over at Exponent 21 and at Will Melton Studio. And so I hope you'll join me on Saturday next week. I might, let me check my schedule and just see if I'm going to be live next Saturday or if I have a conflict. I should be good. I think I'm going to be live on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday at 1 o'clock, Sunday at 10 a.m. I might mix it up a little bit and move to earlier in the morning on Saturday going forward. At 1 o'clock's a little bit later in the day for those folks that are looking to get those afternoon funsies in. So we'll keep you posted on it. But you can see my schedule when I'm not live streaming. You can actually see my schedule here right now because I'm live. It just says watch, but you'll see my full schedule. I do skip days occasionally because I've got conflicts and travel and things like that. But come and hang out with me. I like doing this. Sometimes I've got a lot of dialogue with you guys. Sometimes we're just getting things done. And I'm going to be doing this anyway, so I might as well hang out with you guys and do it live. So this is a Channel RVA production, so you can watch all of our episodes here in addition to on studio.willmelton.com. Pick your flavor. You can see a little bit more over here. And just so you know, we are wrapping up the 4th episode of the agency. This is a slow build. We have 3 episodes now. We have 1 coming, and we're going to keep filming. But this is our little project. All the folks at the Exponent 21 agency act in this, and it gets a little crazy. So that, we're bringing some other new programs to you. So we've got something I showed you guys in past months called the AI Game Show Podcast. That's coming soon. We've got some cast members lined up for it. Got to get on the ball. Got to get on the schedule for that. We've got our 1st episode cast and our 3rd episode cast. We've got half of our 2nd episode cast and our 4th episode. We need cast members. So if you want to be on an AI Game Show Podcast and you live in Richmond region, reach out to me on LinkedIn or wherever you find my content. I will be on it to get you included in the mix. We're looking for folks that are fast on the keyboard and people who like to have fun. We're going to have a chaotic session in these episodes. And you, the viewer, are going to be able to vote on who you think is the funniest in an async vote that will take place a week after the episode airs. And so it's not going to be live; it's going to be async. So you'll be able to watch it after we've aired it, and there's a week long window to vote, and that will dictate who the winner is for the first 4 episodes. And we will go to a finale, a 5th episode to close out the season. If you like it, we'll bring it back. If we stumble in the production process, we may refine it. We'll have to see what it goes, but we've already tested it. It's a lot of fun, and I think you're going to like it. So, more to come there, but you get all of that through channelrva.com, where you will find out everything you need to know about our original content and all of the creators from across the region that we bring into the mix. So, with that, I'm going to sign off today. I hope you have a wonderful Monday evening and a great week. And I will see you again Saturday at 1 p.m. right here on studio.willmelton.com, Channel RVA, Twitch, YouTube, and LinkedIn Live. Thanks, guys. And from Channel RVA, I'm Will Melton. I'm signing off.